morning. That was a little glimpse of what I like to do, how I start my mornings off. After the gym, I come and I decompress for about a half an hour to 45 minutes, listen to an audiobook, because I do suck at reading. I'm a slow reader, but I do enjoy a good audiobook. I do like to just mellow out before I start my day. I find it actually gives me a little bit of energy to kick off my day. And today's day is all about registering our business. Man, with today's technology, registering your business is so simple. There's websites, platforms that help you get it all done. So today we're going to register the business. We are going to register our tax number so the taxmen don't come knocking on our door. And we're going to utilize some websites that are out there that'll help us streamline and simplify this whole process. So like I said, it's never been easier to actually register your business nowadays. Before, you'd have to go to the government agency websites, type in all the information and try to find it. And me personally, I always had a struggle with it, especially in the Canadian website. It was just so difficult. But now there's third-party websites that allow you to utilize their services and streamline this whole process. You pay a little bit more, but honestly, time is money. So let's ask ChatGPT and see what it comes up with and see what it recommends us. I am looking to register my business. Can you provide me a third-party website aside from the government agency website to register my business or corporation, as well as gain a HST or tax number? Provide me a Canadian option and provide me a US option. All right, so ChatGPT has provided me a few solutions in Canada. One obviously being the Canadian Canada Revenue website. You can go there and get it registered, which again, to me was a very bit difficult task. However, there is another site called Owner. And I liked Owner myself personally because it was just super easy to register the business. You can register your tax number. You can put all your documentation in one area and it will hold it for you, as well as provide you PDF versions. It will even go as far as offering you a bank provider for your business. And if you choose the one that they recommend, they will actually give you a reduction on the overall cost of registering your business. It provides you insurance options. It'll even go as far as even helping you build a business plan. So that website is fantastic for Canadian users. Now in the US, there's a few other options that it's providing. There's one called BizZ, where you can register your LLC, your corporation, your IEN number or EIN number. And then there's also another company called Zen Business. And it's the same style platform that Owner is, but just for the US. And it'll guide you through all the options and things you're going to need for your business. Now, if you're going to register through, say, the government agency, yes, it does tend to be a little bit cheaper to register these businesses. I mean, a sole proprietor might be like anywhere from $60 to $100 through the government agencies. Corporations could be like $300. However, if you utilize a third-party service who actually helps streamline it, make it a little bit more efficient, you could be anywhere from $300 to $500. So again, weigh out your time here. If your time's worth going through the government agency, then do so. If not, go ahead and use a third-party app. Okay, in the previous video, I talked about whether you're going to be a sole proprietor or a corporation and what type of corporation you're going to be. So if you've figured that out, you're going to put that kind of stuff. But when you're registering your business, you need to identify what area, what region, state, whether you're in the US or a province if you're in Canada, and where you're going to register your business. Now, typically where you're ever going to operate your business is where you're going to register it. I know in the States, there's actually some areas that you are required to register your business with a municipality as well. So you have to do some back-end research to see whether or not your state requires you to register your business along with a municipality. Now, if you're doing a sole proprietorship and you register your business name, that's totally fine. But when you're doing a corporation, especially in Canada, you have the option of registering a business number, and that's associated with your corporation, and then you register the business name under that corporation. Or you could actually do your business as the corporation. So for me, I've registered a business called Slate and Willow Inc. So Slade and Willow is my project management company, which is now registered under a corporation. Therefore, it's a corp, and it's a named corp, not a numbered corp. Things like this will also play a big factor into setting up your bank accounts, which we'll get into another video. But when you create a name, sometimes that long name becomes a pain in the butt if people are writing you checks or if you're putting it on documents. So my opinion is kind of keep it short and sweet, but to each his own. Do what you want and however it feels comfortable for you. Some of the biggest mistakes people make when they register their business is they don't actually do a background check too to see if their business is available. Some people come up with a business name, they think it's great, and then they go to register it in their state, and then lo and behold, some other state or province has that name registered, and then it causes some conflicts. So you want to make sure you do a proper business name search and see if that name is available, so that way there's no conflicts, because you also don't want to be risked with the fact that somebody comes back and says, that's my name, and they end up suing you for it. So then you have to change your whole name, and you could be operating your business for like 5-10 years, and then all of a sudden somebody comes and says, hey, you're using my name, potentially my logo, and we need you to stop or we're going to sue you. That actually happened with two companies, big companies. The lettering WWF. For those that might know it, there's the World Wildlife Foundation, and then there's the World Wrestling Foundation. And the Wildlife Foundation actually sued the World Wrestling Federation for that verbiage. And the WWF, World Wrestling Federation, had to change their name, and I believe they changed it to like WWE, so World Wrestling Entertainment. But to think they were operating their business for 20 some odd years, and then all of a sudden they get sued and they had to change their name. So don't let that happen to you. And when you're done registering your business, register your tax number. There's no ifs, no buts about it. You need to register this tax number to assure that you're in compliance to be operating your business within your area. So don't skip that step. Make sure you get that completed as well. Now, again, some personal experience on my end of things. Because I am a contractor and a project management firm, it's best suited for me to be a corporation. There's a few liability reasons why I want to do that, and tax incentives that allow me to benefit from being a corporate identity. However, one of my other businesses was more service-based business, low risk for liabilities, and that business I went under a sole proprietorship, and it allowed me to just be under a different tax bracket, not have to have so many complicated layers, that allowed me to just be straightforward. So really figure out whether you need to be a sole proprietor or a corporation. And your accountant could best help you, or our buddy ChatGPT. That ends today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. I hope you got what you needed. And please subscribe, like, put a comment. Tell me how I'm doing. Let me know if there's something you want to see, or maybe you have some useful information for the other viewers. Appreciate it. Catch you on the next one.